Hello and welcome back, everyone. We are sticking with theme Trinity Financial. We're here with Brett. We're talking about the 2026 Social Security report.
Right.
But today we're going to kind of dive into those underlying causes behind the report findings. So I kind of wanted to know, we were talked a lot about last week about that trust fund depletion date.
Correct.
That's kind of a tongue twister. So if you kind of want to talk about why did that date move up and what kind of changed in this year's report?
Right. So if people have not been paying attention, like we said last week, it went from 2034. I've been saying it for so long now. It's 2032. It's only 6 years away from running out of money. But this didn't just happen overnight, and it's not current administration's fault or the previous administration. I mean, this started years ago because the number one thing that's happened, as weird as it sounds, is people started having fewer children. Okay? So if we have fewer children being raised into the workforce, there's fewer workers to support the largest working population, which is the baby boomers, who are now going on Social Security. So that's, if you just take a look at the simplest thing, that's one of the main drivers. Fewer workers to support more retirees.
And you beat me right to it again. That was kind of what I was looking to ask you, is having fewer workers, does that put pressure on retirees, and Social Security finances?
Yes, 100%. I forget I think it's down, I don't know how you get a 0.7 child, but the average married couple is having less than 2 children.
Really?
Yeah, so where before, again, when I started in the industry, I know it was above 3. So that's a pretty significant drop, almost a 30% drop in the number of children being raised. Fewer immigration. I mean, there's no doubt if anyone pays any attention to headlines, President Trump, when he was in office the first time, and especially now, there's fewer immigration. He can't have that big of an impact on it, but that is something to consider. And that's something we started talking about almost 10 years ago when they started making a push, is if we have fewer immigration, that's fewer workers. And then and something, again, technology. So you take a look at, again, headlines talk about all the time, AI is replacing people's jobs. So there's just a mass thing, but it really comes down to fewer workers supporting the trust fund.
And how I know you had just mentioned those birth rates, kind of like the 0.7, I don't know, right? But I also saw something, talking about the ongoing baby boomer retirement wave. Does that also play a role in accelerating this timeline per se? Well,
at one time there was again, it's an old statistic, but there was over 10,000 baby boomers entering the Social Security phase of their life. Now, that doesn't mean at their age 62 everyone's starting to receive their Social Security benefit, or 65. More and more are starting to delay because more boomers are working later. And it's not so much out of necessity. Again, the world, according to Brett, says it's because they're healthy, they enjoy what they're doing, and so they're working longer. But when they get into 67, 68, they're working and they're receiving their Social Security benefit.
So there's just kind of a lot of factors.
There's a lot of factors that have been building up for many, many years, and it's hit the precipice of we're 6 years away from this happening.
So how about what can our viewers control right now? Let's say their savings, spending habits to reduce maybe their personal risk.
Yeah, their lifestyle is probably not going to change. I mean, they could. I think the most important thing is to review finances and take advantage of the higher interest rates right now. Take advantage, we talked about this, I believe it was in January, February, I was trying to think when it was. We talked about structuring annuities with income benefit riders is always a possibility to project for the future. In other words, you don't have to take the income now, but to have something established that if the worst happens and I have to have face a 23% pay cut, I have something to replace that.
So there's always something you can control right now too. Okay, so sorry, Brett, but that is all the time we do have for today. But we're going to throw up on your screen there, Trinity Insurance and Financial Services. If you want to give them that call, that number is on your screen, or you can just simply visit their website, or maybe stop in and say hi to Brett.
We'd always welcome you.
But thank you again, Brett, for being here, and we'll be back after the break.